Hi, I just bought the Zinus Twin day bed as a couch/sometimes bed for a multi-use room. I really liked the look of the wood and the iron that it showed in the pictures online. What I actually got was reasonably consistent with that. The wood grain was a little bit less varied and interesting, but that's within natural variation. It was a really nice piece of wood with a good finish. I did have to clean it up a bit with a cleanser. I didn't like the tack of it initially. As you can see, it has a nice heavy structure. Here you see it with a separately purchased Zinus mattress, which does cover up the wood on the inside at least, but you do see the wood on the outside, and overall the metal looked really good. There was one problem with the assembly. One of the bolt holes was badly burred. You couldn't tell until you started to try to turn the bolt into it, and when you did, you had tremendous resistance. That stripped the threads pretty badly. I went and got a tap and handle separately to fix that. It was about $30. This is a manual process. If you haven't done this before, you want to stay away from the power driver versions. They do sell them, but they're a bad idea. The problem is that the metal that cuts these threads is so hard that it's also very brittle, so a power tool has a tendency to fracture them. Here I am just making sure that I have the right size, the right thread count by going into a clean hole. It went in like butter, so that confirmed that I got the right device. Here I am going through the one that was badly burred, and you can see I'm kind of like stopping and going a little slower when I'm cutting through the metal. It really wasn't hard to do. I'm just being a little slow and deliberate. Really, the biggest concern about this was I had to spend an extra $30 and spend an hour, going out to the hardware store and coming back. I don't know how common this problem is, and the average person probably just would have, muscled the bolt in and not even known that they stripped the crap out of it. Here I'm just making sure the threads worked fine using a good bolt, and they did. And then taking the stripped bolt and seeing if I could reuse it, and no, it was so badly damaged I couldn't. Now the nice thing about that is that the packaging here is really good. They give you extra bolts, various lengths. So with that little hiccup behind me, put the thing together and it looks pretty darn good. The assembly is pretty easy. It has this assemble by numbers. Here's the last one. It's the crossbar across the middle that gets some bolts. You just match numbers up and then peel the stickers off. Good to go. And again, the metal looks pretty darn good. Now, I didn't want to see my mattress sitting just on those slats, so I went ahead and cut up some plywood and put some edging on it so that you wouldn't see the plywood edge. It's more of a finished look. That added a little bit of time to the overall project. I think you could probably put a mattress on those slats, but I really wasn't crazy about it, and it didn't take me that long. So here's the finished version with the Zinus mattress on it. Not bad. What I really like about this bed is that it had very open access to the space beneath it, so I can store a lot of gear in this multi-use room without really seeing it cluttering up the space. On the whole, very, very happy with this. One tip, if you don't already have them, some snips are really handy. This thing was packaged beautifully. That means a lot of zip strips to cut.